What's up, everybody? So I was doing a little extra project today right here, putting a little 50% screen over all the bonsai plants because they get scorched when they were in South Louisiana. Here it gets super hot, so I didn't want to show the whole build, so I'm going to take you through it right quick and just kind of show you what I did. It's pretty cheap if you've got some building skills to throw it up, and I'll show you what I did. Hang tight. All right, first step was I got these poles. So I went 10 feet high and I actually got 3 poles from my buddy Michael Sawyer. So shout out Michael for the free poles. So normally if you want some poles on Marketplace or something, they have a little bit of bend to them, which is when you put it up, which is fine. They're pretty solid. So what's gonna happen is when the wind blows, the pole is gonna bend a little bit. So it's gonna move, which is fine because you need a little bit of movement in this because we got hurricanes, tornadoes, straight line winds sometimes. So anyway, so we did the poles, got them concreted in the ground about 2 feet. So that's gonna hold. And up top, we have just a little eye bolt running through there to kind of tie to. And you see that fishing string, I use that to go, I don't know if you can see it, up, down, in and out. So up and down, up and down, up and down through those grommets. Up and down, up and down, up and down. And then we tied off on the other side. We had a little slack, so we just kind of bunched it up there and ran the weed eater string up and down through the hole, and then kind of came back and dallied it off. And to the side of the shop, we used some stainless steel D-rings from Amazon. So we used some of the rubber washers, So we use the washers like you would use for a shop. So these type with the rubber grommet on them. So we use those to secure it there. And I just used some paracord to tie it up with. I was gonna use some 1/16 inch coated steel wire, but this whole thing weighs 4.5 pounds. So I didn't think I needed to go that strong. So the thing that's gonna go first is probably these grommets right here. So I got it on both of them, so hopefully they won't break. I don't know how it's gonna react when the water gets up and gets on this. I'm gonna turn that on in just a minute to see if it gets it too heavy and brings it down. I'm gonna see. So I don't know how it's gonna react to rain. I'm thinking it should drip right through because it's only 50% screen. So I had to make a correction to the video. I did the water test and I put water up there and it was kind of sitting up here and it was kind of drooping down a bit and the water was running. And so this is what I did. All right, so what we did to fix it was I got some more of that weed eater string and ran it all the way across and tied it off over there, and then ran one from here and ran it across and tied it over there. So now it keeps it sitting up kind of high. So I turned the sprinkler on and the sprinkler just barely hits it now instead of just shoots on it because it was hanging way down. So that should help with the rain and everything. Another thing, I think I killed 2 birds with 1 stone. So what I did was I wrapped the string all around before the grommets. So it's pulling on the whole thing and not just pulling the grommets. And I just wrapped it all the way down, wrapped it back and all that. So that's just like that on that other side over there. So very similar. So that should keep those grommets from falling out. So that should make it more stable. So anyway, so back to the rest of the video and how I did all this. It's one of the reasons we had to do it because all these maples right here are just getting burned up. So what'll happen is they'll make new leaves. They'll say, oh man, it's too hot. Well, these leaves will shrivel up and die. It'll make new leaves, they'll shrivel up and die and repeat the process. So this one's probably already dead. This one's looking like it's on its way out. So I had to do something to rescue them. But I mean, just standing under here, it's way cooler. Like it's almost 10 degrees cooler, it feels. So anyway, so these guys do good in full sun, but you can see they're starting to get a little scorched on the tips. You can get these from Amazon, and I'll put the little picture of where I got it from, like right here somewhere, so you can see which ones I got. This feels a little rinky dink, but if I can get maybe 2 years out of it for $48, I think it was, that'll be okay. Because I'll kind of have a plan and know what to do next time. So anyway, it's got a lot of movement, as you can see, with the wind, which is fine. It's kind of what I want. I don't want it to be to where it's just so rigid to where it can't move. So see all that wind? This is a fairly windy day today. So you can see all the trees moving. So shout out to Dad. He helped me get up here and dally all this stuff up and kind of spitball how to, you know, get it tight and everything. So I think it'll hold. We'll see. I'll update if it falls apart. But this is prototype A, version 1.0 here. So we'll see how it works. I might have to change out the sprinkler instead of just sprinkling wide open. I might have to run something down the line, come over, run back, and kind of sprinkle everything individually, kind of mister more, or I might get the little things that stick in there. I'm not sure yet. So this project cost me under $100. So $48 for that. Pipes were free, 12 bucks for concrete. You know, it was like a bag and a half of concrete, so I still got some of that left. So not too bad. So the poles would have cost more. So if you had to buy poles from somebody kind of similar to this, you're probably looking at 50, 60 bucks maybe. Or you could probably use some EMT conduit. And what I did was down at the bottom right there, I welded the pieces, the ends together, so I'd have a longer piece. So I started with, that was a 13-foot pole. So I left it long at the top so I could always change it up higher or lower. I wanted like a little bit of a slope to it. So anyway, that's how it turned out. And now hopefully everything will have some nice shade throughout the day and it won't scorch all my stuff up. Here's another view of it. So it actually looks nice. It's not even really an eyesore. So that little bitty thing of fabric cloth. So what happens with our sun here is it rises in the east over there, goes straight up here, and then sets in the west. Right now it's off to the side a little bit, I guess because it's getting to be winter time, but all this is just wide open sun all the time. So as soon as the sun gets past these trees, it's game on. So it's like, because the sun starts more over here and throughout the year it works its way over this way. I'm no astrophysicist or whatever, so I'm not no Neil deGrasse Tyson or whatever, but that's what I feel like happens, is it starts there and goes over there. So anyway, so they get a little shade when the sun's over here, but they're still full. So we're gonna have morning sun coming under here, middle of the day shaded sun, and then as the time goes on, they'll have some evening sun hit them. So that should be perfect for the Japanese maples and all the stuff that I have. So if you find this helpful, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for our 300 subscribers. I appreciate that. Keep pumping out content as things happen. Don't forget, this is the channel that I respond to pretty much every comment that you have. If you have a question, I'll respond to it. You know, that's one thing that drives me nuts. If I have a question on YouTube or for somebody that made a video, normally when you talk to them, they don't answer back, and that drives me nuts. So I try and take time out, answer every question that anybody has, even on old videos. When it pops up, I go back, and if I don't know the answer, I'll go back and figure out what I did. So if you get any benefit out of this, like, share, subscribe. And when you subscribe, you don't have to be subscribed to all the notifications. You can turn the notifications off. I just need subscribers. If at 1,000 subscribers, we're gonna give a guitar away, a kit guitar. I'm gonna take a kit guitar, make it nice, and then we're gonna send it out to one of the subscribers. No shipping, it's not gonna cost you anything. So don't forget, subscribe.